Hello and welcome, and we are fortunate today to be here with Anna Lapwood. Congratulations on your success, Anna.
Oh, thank you so much, and it's so nice to meet you.
You too. I would like to ask you, at what point do you think was a turning point for you? When did you see that this is actually turning into something more of a movement and turning into a career path for you?
I think the really critical show that I always talk about is the show that I did with Bonobo at the Royal Albert Hall, because up until that point I had very much stuck with the classical tradition, and I've been brought up in the classical tradition. I basically only listened to classical music. I was sort of brought up to believe that it was the best,
Right.
And I don't think that my thinking has radically changed. I think my horizons just got much wider after that show. It was a very last minute thing. They heard me rehearsing and then said, "Do you want to join our show tomorrow?" And I got to add an organ part. And it was musically just so much fun. And we all had this moment sitting there of, hang on, something just happened.
Wow.
That was exciting.
On a whim.
Yeah.
Happened,
And I think what was really interesting about it is there was an amazing response in the room, but then it instantly went viral on social media. I mean, in a way that I'd never seen before. I think the video got something like 1 million likes.
It's amazing.
And then the people came to the concerts that I was doing that weren't the same style of music. They came because they'd seen that one video, and then they were like, you know what, I want to find out more. And that's what I think is really cool.
So I think a lot of your concerts are just bringing in a whole new mass of people that normally would not have known about the pipe organ or its music, and sort of cross, bringing them into the classical world as well. So how do you see your role is just with the younger generation of organists maybe coming up? They're discovering the organ in a different way.
I definitely see myself as a kind of gateway organist, and I mean that in a positive way. My hope is always that people might have never come to an organ concert before, come to one of mine, be sort of drawn in by the movie music, and then go, hang on a minute, this is an amazing instrument, and then go and hear all sorts of other organists playing all sorts of different repertoire. That's kind of my hope. But I guess I hope that the sort of thing I do might inspire other young organists to try it as well, writing transcriptions of different repertoires from different genres, because when I started as an organist, I never felt like I got it. I never felt like I fitted in, really. I always felt like I was desperately trying to prove something when I was playing the standard repertoire, and I didn't fall in love with the instrument properly until I started writing the transcriptions.
Consider yourself more of a symphonic organist versus more of a Baroque instrument? I mean, I've heard you
Yeah.
play it all, and you play it all beautifully.
Oh, thank
so
you.
I don't know if you have a favorite style to play.
Definitely orchestral transcriptions
Yeah.
is my big, and that is over the past maybe 4 years, that's really become very clear to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I adore playing Bach. I also still find Bach really scary to play in concerts. It's the one
I think every organist does.
But it's terrifying, there's nowhere to hide, and it's amazing, but it is intimidating.
Right.
And I think at the moment, I'm trying to focus on the music where I feel I have something new to say, I guess. And there are so many organists I massively respect who say new things with Bach every time they play. And at the moment, I don't have anything new to say.
You have your Hauptwerk organ in your place now, from Content. How do you see Hauptwerk as playing a role in helping you prepare for concerts? And we also know that your tour next year, you're going to be bringing the organ on tour with you. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are two different sides of it. Firstly, I'm spending a lot of time writing transcriptions. But ultimately, when you're writing a transcription, the first phase can be done kind of anywhere. the second, third, fourth phases, where you're really honing the transcription, you need to be able to experiment with colours. And it's quite hard to experiment with colours when you're in a public place,
Right.
open, and you can see people filming you and all this stuff. So now having a Hauptwerk instrument at home means that I can really do the whole transcription writing process at home without anyone else hearing it.
No one will know the whole process and all the stuff you threw out to get to where
Exactly,
you are.
and I think that has sort of sped everything up actually a lot for me in terms of writing transcriptions. But then also I am taking my home organ on tour next year, and that's been a really interesting process as well, because I adore playing pipe organs. I really love playing pipe organs. Not every venue has a pipe organ, obviously, we all know.
Sure.
And so what I've tried to think about is how can we use the tool that is Hauptwerk to give a concert in a slightly different way. So I'm, over the course of my concert, going to be doing an organ crawl. So we will go through different sample sets, and I will explain over the course of the concert what is different about these organs and how they have different personalities. So I know there's always this sort of slight tension perhaps between the kind of pipe organ world
Builders,
and the,
yeah.
and I see why it exists, but it's trying to say, actually, this is such a cool chance to use the technology we have to open up everything we love about the pipe organ world to more people.